Hey, everybody. Thank you for listening to ITD Games. We are going to be reviewing a game today. Before we do any of that, I want you to like, listen, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your grandma, tell your neighbors, tell everybody. Today, what's on the menu? We have Barinki before it gets too radiated with Chernobylite. Chernobylite is a science fiction game, FPS. It was released July 28th on Xbox, Windows, PlayStation 4, Birth Control. It's out there. It is a pretty interesting game. So we're going to go to Nick for his take on Chernobylite. Let's see if he glows in the dark.
All right. Little clarification. It's not on Xbox or PlayStation yet. It's only on Steam currently. It is coming to those at some point. But besides that, this game is really fun. I really enjoyed it. It's kind of like a base builder survival type game with first person shooter action, kind of some RPG elements. It's kind of a mixture of all those things put together. And I really enjoy it. I like the base building. I like the companions and kind of keeping them good. Because, I mean, you basically get companions. You start out with one, and then you can have other companions join you, and you got to worry about in your base. You have a base of operations, and you got to worry about in your base, like making sure the air quality is good, making sure that they have enough entertainment options, and making sure that radiation levels are good, and various things like that. As you build certain components, so you can make certain things like ammo and lockpicks and other advanced technology type of things. You're kind of a scientist in this game. You don't play as a military person, right? Your character is a scientist, but you kind of learn the tricks of the trade of being a mercenary in a sense. And you're going out there looking for your girlfriend. I don't think they're married yet. I think they were engaged or something like that. But it's basically your girlfriend, Tatiana, that you're looking for. She disappeared 30 years ago, and you're looking for her. And there's some kind of science fiction type of stuff going on here with portals and this Chernobylite, which is the name of the game. This type of stuff, and it's set in the area of Chernobyl. And so it's a pretty cool game. I enjoyed it. I have a lot of fun with it. They kind of put it out there as kind of a horror game. I didn't really run into much like horror aspects myself, but it can be a little spooky. The atmosphere is great in this game. I mean, the atmosphere really sells it, when you're out in the field and stuff like that. But all in all, it's still a fun game to play, and I really enjoyed it. I have a lot of fun. I didn't make it to the end, but I made it pretty far. You pretty much have to go to this power plant where your girlfriend worked, and you're kind of working towards that scenario by collecting mercenaries and things, and then clues and various things like that. But yeah, it's a cool game. So Patrick, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you there. It's got this weird little concept of because you have to plan every day out, and as Nick said, you have companions, and you craft in your base, you build new base add-ons, you can upgrade your weapons and armor, all that good fun stuff. And then it also has like planning and strategy, because your companions can die. You can send them on missions that they're not well suited for, because you have to gear out your companions. You could share gear with them, like armor and weapons and stuff. And every day every day you get to plan what you and your companions are going to do. And you can say, okay, I want this companion to go after food or ammunition or miscellaneous, and I'm going to go after some medical, or I'm going to do a main story quest while they do this, so you can have them do everything, do all kinds of cool stuff. But you also have to feed them, as Nick said. You have to worry about their psyche. There's so many things to worry about. So it's got a decent amount of like micromanaging stuff to it. So you send out your companions, make sure they do what they're supposed to. And like I said, they can die. So if you send them on a mission that they have a 30% chance of completing it, well, there's a higher probability they're going to die, or that they're going to get captured or something. So it's an interesting concept. And then, as Nick had mentioned, the Chernobylite, which is the crap that got created after the plant went up, So It was very boring in the beginning. I don't know about you guys, but until I got to the base building part, I was ready to just go, this is quite boring and I'm over it. It took a little bit too long to get through what I would consider tutorial material. But once I got past it, I thought it was great. You get into all these cool concepts, like you could craft inside and outside of your base. And the map is pretty much static. And what I mean by static is there's the same areas no matter which day it is. You know, you have this whole, like, I think it's like 8 areas, or maybe a little bit more. I can't remember. And each of those areas, you can build things like which reduce radioactive storms and creatures that come in the area and stuff. So, and it's persistent. So it's a cool concept, and I look forward to trying to play it some more. But I don't necessarily think it's scary neither. Once you first run into a couple of the creatures in the beginning, it's kind of unnerving because you're like, how hard are they to kill? You don't know. But overall, I enjoyed it. It's a pretty decent game. Only on PCs. Like Nick and Shane said, it'll be out on consoles in September. So they're slated to come out September 7th on consoles. But Shane, what'd you think, man?
I wasn't sure what to think when you guys first talked about it and we looked at the trailers. I thought it was going to be more horror-y, even more on the suspense, at least island of that. But it really wasn't suspenseful. It was a narrative driven, it's narrative driven, definitely, but I don't feel that narrative is pushed through horror or suspense. I think it's pushed more through just a survival mode kind of a feeling towards it. The biggest problem I had with it, though, was the micromanagement. And the reason is I wasn't expecting it. I was going into this thing as a shooter, with that impetus of, I'm going to shoot shit. I mean, that's just simple. I'm going to shoot things. And then it, turned into a base builder, which is cool. I don't really have a problem with that, but it was too much micromanagement for me. And I'm not good with that kind of stuff. So that's on me. I mean, I've just never been that good with that kind of stuff. I don't have the patience for that kind of stuff. For most games like that. And this one here, it's simple to do, but you've got a lot to do. And, and the way I feel about it, it's not like it's like a whole bunch of different ways you got to remember. It's just that you got to remember to do things like feed the people. I lost a couple because I forgot they were hungry. When I got the first lady you get, I can't think of her name. It's when you went like the third area, or the third day, excuse me, because that's as far as I got. She died. She was hungry.
Well, the story is non-linear, so you could pick up people at different times. So it's a non-linear story, which means that you can change it.
I picked her ass up, and she didn't make it. Apparently, I'm a bad host. So but I do like the atmosphere, like Nick said. Though I love the flashing green aura around the whole, outside area when the lightning strikes down and stuff. But I wish it would have been more horror. That was probably my biggest disappointment, as I was expecting, more along Silent Hill, Resident Evil-y kind of thing just by the trailer, but it wasn't. But being said, it's a good game, but you have to know what you're getting into when you fire it up.
Yeah, because it's only classified genre as survival game, and I'm like, it's more than a survival game.
It's absolutely
FPS. And what's kind of funny is you mentioned that you lost people to hunger, but you can lose people to psyche because they have psyche, they have health, and they have hunger. And if you don't take care of their psyche, that'll cause them to want to leave as well. Because I didn't realize it at first when I did it, but I'd underpowered my base. I built a bunch of components, and the lights were flickering. I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, whatever, I don't care. And I ignored the red text when it was time to feed everybody. And I didn't realize it was saying that lights flickering is a negative effect on their psyche. And they ended up hating it because I didn't have enough.